I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to do kind of a little wrap up of the audiobooks I listened to this year. I've listened to quite a lot and I went and picked my favorite of each month so far from January until August because it's September. And yeah, so I'm gonna go month by month and tell you which one is my favorite and if I hated some or listened to some that have been popular and everything. We'll start with January. And January I listened to 4 audiobooks and my favorite one is Electric Idol by Kathy Robert. This is part of a series that I've listened to the first book. So basically it's a retelling of Greek god and goddess, but it's set in contemporary times and it's more like rich families that are fighting for the power and fighting for their empire to stay intact. And you know, the kids are meeting people in those families and falling in love with the enemy and things like that, and I absolutely loved that series, so really enjoyed that audiobook. And then in February I listened to 7 audiobooks, and I'm surprised to say that my favorite one is a romance that I listened to because of the Goodreads award of 2022. So it's the Lila Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. And basically you're following this woman who goes back to her hometown after being gone for a couple of years. She had some trouble upbringing, if I can say. She lost her mom pretty young, then her dad remarried. She didn't like the stepmom or the stepsister, then her dad died and all of that. And she comes back to that city because her stepsister is getting married. So she's pushed into all that trauma regarding her family, but she also falls in love. And I really enjoyed the fact that the romance wasn't all the story, even though it was the main part, but like she's trying to navigate being back in that city with all the bad memories that comes with it, and she's trying to figure out how she fits into that world today. And that's the part I really enjoyed about that book. So far I believe, I need to check, but I believe it's my favorite book from that romance category of the Goodreads Awards of 2022, but really enjoyed that book. And also in that month I finished Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows as an audiobook, and if you've never listened to them as audiobook, I would suggest it because it's absolutely fabulous just being back in that world. And you know, but yeah. And March, this is tied from my month with the most audiobooks. It's 9. I finished 9 audiobooks. And my favorite one is a thriller. It's The Night Shift by Alex Finley. Kinley or Finley? Anyway, you'll see here the name. Maybe I could just, okay, it's there. Yeah, Alex Finley. So this book. And you're following, let me see. Okay, things happen in the past where teenagers got killed, and then you're in now and another murder happened, and you're trying to figure out like both of those things and how they happen. I don't remember a lot, but I remember really enjoying it so much that I actually bought a copy, so that's a good sign. So this was my favorite audiobook of March. But in that month I also finished Pear by the Prince Harry, and I have so much to say because like I get the fact that he wasn't born into the family he wanted, but who is? Like, I wasn't born in the best families. I had some problems, blah blah, and I get the fact that like he's a prince, the spotlight was on him, the fact that his mother died when he was pretty young, the way she died and all of that. I get everything, but I felt like at one point in your life you have to get over things that you cannot control, and that includes your family. I get it, it's hard, but like work on it, because as much as I enjoyed learning more about his private life, I hated the part where it was talking about all the, problems and everything, it was just too much, and I felt like I was reading a book written by a teenager who's mad about his family. And yeah, I understand people that really liked that book, but I did not. Yeah, but I don't know, it's fine that he did it, but like, I don't know, I'm probably won't read anything else that he comes with. But like, yeah, not that great. But then April happened, and I also finished 9 audiobooks. I put 2 audiobooks that I really enjoyed, and they are both thrillers. The thing is, before this year, I wasn't really into thrillers, but because of my challenge of the Goodread things, I've been listening to a lot of thrillers, and I realized that I really enjoy listening to them. Reading them is meh, but listening to them really enjoy. So 2 of them made it to my favorite audiobooks of the year. So first off, we have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I don't really remember the story. I think it's something like she's trying to solve murders that happened in the past and that have no explanation and everything, and things happen. I remember being shocked by the end, so that was a really good one. And then we also have A Flicker in the Dark by Ceci Willingham. Again, I don't remember a lot of the story, but I remember really enjoying it. Maybe I should go and check like what it is about, but right now I don't have the time. But I remember it being pretty good, which is why I put it there. And also I chose 2 because I wasn't like amazed by one in particular, so I put 2, but both of them are really great. Then May came. I finished 7 audiobooks, and there are no favorite that month. It happens. It just wasn't a great audiobook month, but I did DNF 1, so did not finish 1. It's Olga Dies Dreaming by, I don't remember the name, but it's gonna be just there. It was boring, first of all, and second of all, like, I can't deal with cheating, especially if the woman is like, I knew he was married, I knew he was kid, but I had to do it because my body was like, oh my god, no, just can't. So DNF'd it. I think I DNF'd at 8%, which is pretty early, but that's fine. DNF'd it. I'm good with it. I don't feel the need to go back and finish it. And I also listened to Mad Honey by Judy Picoult during that month, and like, the book wasn't bad. So you're following this beekeeper woman with her son, and then her son gets accused of murder of his girlfriend. And as you go through the book, you learn more about everything that happened between the son and the girlfriend and all of that. And there's one point in the book I was like, why did the writer need to add this bit? It brought nothing to the story. It was just, to make the son look bad. And I hated that. And then the ending did not really make sense, honestly. But I'm putting it there because I had things to say about it. But no favorite in May. And then June, I finished only 3 audiobooks, but it was a pretty slow month for me. My favorite one is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I'm usually a sucker for historical fiction, and this one was really good. So you're following this girl. She lives in Spain? No, maybe not Spain. Italy? Anyway, one of those 2 countries, and you're following her as she's pretty young, and she gets married, and then the husband is a crazy guy, and but it was really good. Really enjoyed it. But I get why people will get bored by that. It's similar to one book I just finished, which is Jane Seymour, The Haunted Queen. So it's like there's not a lot of action that happens. It's mostly character based, so it's like you learn more about the people than the action. But The Marriage Portrait, in my opinion, is really good, and maybe one day I'll try Amnet, another book by Maggie O'Farrell. We'll see, but really enjoyed that one. Then July, I finished 6 audiobooks. My favorite one is Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. This book, I enjoyed it so much that I had to buy my own copy. I also bought it new. You're following these women in the 70s, black women mostly, as they learn to navigate birth control and everything that has to do with birding babies. And it pissed me off so much, and I can't believe that in 2023 things are still happening in regard to that. The fact that some women are forced to get everything out of their body so they can't have any more kids, that they're forced to take some birth control that can be disastrous for the body, and forced to have babies because abortion is not legal in some states, just pissing me off. So this book was really great and I enjoyed the writing, but like it was mostly the story that really made me enjoy the audiobook, and for sure I will be rereading this because it was that great. So that was my favorite book of July. And the last month I want to talk about is August. In August I finished 5 audiobooks. No favorites again. That's the thing, sometimes I'm having such a great audiobook month, other time it's horrible. So in August, no favorite. And I DNF'd another one. It's Twisted Games by Anna Wong. This is the second book in the Twisted series, and I had such a hard time with the first book because it was boring, and I don't see why it is categorized as dark romance. Doesn't make sense for me. But DNF Twisted Games at 38%. Won't be picking the third book in that series. I'm just done. It's just boring, and like, I don't know, I have nothing else to say. But here are all the audiobooks I enjoyed so far this week. Also just want to mention that I get all of them from the library, so they are free, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford like 9 audiobooks in a month. Impossible. Also, I listen to them really fast, like twice the speed, which explains also why I can listen to that much. Listen to them at work, at home, whatever. So yeah, that's all for today, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.